When I say my list, you'll know why. You're not going to like list after I say my list. My top 5 is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
That's right, it's your boy the Kid Melo, the human do-rag flap, and this is a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. Today, you know what I'm saying, we got a media icon, you know what I'm saying, the Black Howard Stern, I would call him, you know what I'm saying? He's a radio Hall of Fame broadcaster. As a member of the Breakfast Club, 14 years and running. I dare you to find a longer run than that. A media entrepreneur. In case you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood Reporter named him one of the most powerful people in podcasting, okay? New York Times bestselling author multiple times, Mr. Donkey of the Day, you know what I'm saying? The list is heavy, but it don't hold him back, goddammit, you know what I'm saying? It is the one, the only, our guy, Charlamagne Tha God in the building.
Guy.
My dog, bro.
Welcome,
Melo.
peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's happening?
We out here, bro. Like, listen, full circle, we here.
I know, right?
We here.
Damn.
You know me since I was a pup, outside smoking weed in the staircase.
That's why it's funny when I walked in to see you with the spray cans about to tag the walls.
Yeah, he wilding over here.
But that's what he did at MTV 10 years ago. Like, he saw all of them fresh walls. Same thing, spray paint everywhere.
Yeah, the whole fucking space is full of his tagging and shit.
When you see a bunch of tags and it smells like weed, Mero is in the building. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You done lost like 100 pounds.
Yo, I'm trying to get healthy out here, bro. I see y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm working with an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And a dude that is in his mind is an athlete every football season.
I work out. I try to work out, you know. Melo still got hops. We saw Melo, his vertical still like 60 inches.
Yeah, bro.
We saw you at the Olympics.
Yeah, I fucked my back out with that shit. I came in here walking gingerly just
The icy hot in the back.
I did a PT bad over here.
But you know what's dope about that? To see you still get excited about basketball in that way, even just watching it.
I'm still a fan of it.
Right.
I competed. Like, I've been playing ball since like for 32 years probably.
Damn.
Like, you know, I'm 32 years since I was 8 years old. And it's like, it's hard to just let it go. You know, I mean, you can have a different perspective on it, whatever, but it's hard to let that, like the drive go and the passion of what got you there and the journey. And now I can just be a fan with that same passion, you know, in a celebratory way. Like, these are guys that I grew up with, played against, competed against at the high level, won against, you know what I mean? We won together, we lost together. Like, these are different type of moments for me. And I don't think a lot of athletes gives that anymore. Like, come back and it's like really into the game without it looking corny in a sense. Like, this is real, genuine love that I got for these guys. And I think what makes it special is that people don't see that. We don't see that a lot. So when it happens on the world stage, it is what it is. It's like, I'm just being in my natural state, right? I treat it like EYBL. Like, I'm over there with my son, like an AAU.
That's what I was thinking about too. I was like, man, imagine the conversations Melo and Kiyan having right now. Because I know Kiyan looking like, Pops done did this 3 times. I'm observing it now. I'm on my way to doing it. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And it ain't even, I mean, it hit him over there like, okay, whoa. Like, you know, I know Pops from NBA Pops. You know, I know Denver Nuggets, Knicks, Portland, all of those Pops. But I don't know this one right here, though.
Wow.
Because he never got a chance to see it, right? In 2008, he was just 1 year old. In 2012, he was 4 or 5. Like, he couldn't really understand what was going on. 2016, you know, it was Brazil. That was the end of it. Mm-hmm. That was the last one. So now you're getting a chance to see what the world thinks of his Pops and really feel it and understand it. Like, oh shit, like this is different than USA. Yeah. You know, this is different than NBA. Yeah. Love that.
It probably unlocked another gear for him. Like, it's a whole other level.
Yeah, the nigga left me out there. He came back. He jumped on a flight by himself. I said, nah, what you doing? Like, nah, dog, I gotta get back.
I gotta go.
I gotta get back.
How does that make you feel as a dad, bro? Because you're talking about being involved after retirement just for the love of the game.
That was crazy that you want to hurry up. You flew by yourself. I'm like, yo, listen, champ. I ain't with that type of shit. No, what's happening out here. Like, let's figure this out. Like, no, I'm I got it,
I got this.
That's how you know
My shit's work.
My shit's working. Yeah.
But listen, that's how you know he on his way to 300 million.
Yeah, I respect it though. I respect it.
Again.
I respect it.
So talking about you love just hooping, bro.
Yeah.
That's why you stay involved. You stay as a fan. And you could tell, bro, them pictures don't lie.
Yeah.
Like the emotion in your face, bro, when you in Brown face, like, yo, let's fucking go get it, man. Like you playing for this is for the gold medal, dog. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know what the conversation was, but I felt the tone just from those images, B. You know what I'm saying?
Well, them pictures were
that's
powerful,
a real, like that's it. And I wasn't even thinking none of that. I'm just like, I got caught up in the moment, like the competitiveness of where I would have been at in those situations if I, you know what I mean? Right. Not saying if I was out there now, but like as a player, being in those moments, I've been in those gold medal games, those moments where it's like, we know the passion and what it takes and how we come together as a team and everybody got to dig into their greatness well. Like, I understand that. Mm-hmm. So when I'm actually a spectator now, I get a chance to observe that and see that. And it just, my competitive spirit and nature just keeps going. And I also know how to get through to my brother. Like, I know in this moment, like you don't have nobody there outside of the guys that you on the court with that's telling you, like, let's go into that next level, like that next gear. So for him to see me in that mode, I'm sure it kicks something else off from him and from everybody else. It's like, oh, okay, we got our brother out here with us, and he fighting with us from over here. Mm-hmm. So it was a good moment. I just told him, yo, you gotta go get out the mud. Like, you gotta go get it, sir. They ain't gonna let you get it. Right. Stop playing and go do what you do.
Is it embarrassing to not get the gold? Because you was on the team that got bronze, right?
In 04, yeah.
Was you trying to tell him, like, yo, remember 04, yo? Like, let's...
Nah, it wasn't remember 04. It was, I need you to go into that well of greatness that you probably don't want to go into this early in the summer. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that the same thing goes for KD too. Like, come on. Like, everybody knows get out the way. Like, Joel, come set the pick and slip in and get out. Like, give KD the top of the key, let him work. And those situations, we needed everybody to be great at what they do and their role on that court. And you saw it. KD was great in his role at the end. Bron was great in what he was supposed to do. Steph was great in what he was supposed to do. So those are just levels of greatness that we could tap into and identified on the same level in a sense.
Salute to all the old heads. All the old heads wanting to go.
Like we say on the show, you wash motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody here, we used to wash.
Absolutely, but we all know that level of, we all, like Melo's saying, we all know how to tap into that thing to get to that level to win. Yeah. Young boys don't know that yet. Yeah. No disrespect to them, but they don't know that yet.
It's just a lot of it's experience.
Mm-hmm. They got to feel it.
You got to understand what this is also. Like, you dealing with different levels of greatness now. Like, you know, these young guys, they great at this, at what they doing right now. Right. But it's like, it's still levels in time that you got to put in and work that you got to put in to get to that level of greatness, right? So there's no knock to nobody.
No. It's just time and reps, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will get there. I promise. You know what I'm saying?
They might not.
You might not. You know what I'm saying? You might not.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get there. Most people don't get there.
Right. So talking about pure hooper, love of the game, it's still heavily involved after retirement. You're not retired. You're still very active in the media game. Do you still have that hunger? Like, yo, what's the next thing, yo? Like, I know what I do. Like, I've had longevity in radio. I'm on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop radio, period. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Of course, you know what I'm saying? What is it that keeps you like waking up in the morning like, all right, bet, let's go get it? You know what I mean?
Because I've never had the mentality of, like, I guess, being a scorer. Like, we talking about basketball. Like, I can score, but I like throwing assists. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like, yo, the more we grow, the more these platforms get bigger, the more platforms I'm able to, you know, be in control of, it's more people I can throw assists to and put in positions. And to what we speaking about even with the next generation, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help that next generation reach their greatness. I'm in the Radio Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I'm established. I'm home already. Like Hov say.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like helping that next generation get to that next level. That's what keeps me moving.
Is there anybody out there that you are like, man, they got it? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like not the next Charlemagne, but the next them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Media personality, like ability to be dynamic and do like serious interviews, fuck around and do donkey of the day, do jokes, like, and just have that range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, well, the main guy is in prison right now, I would say. Taxstone, right?
Free Taxstone. You heard? Free the homie Taxstone. Word up.
Like Tax was like one of them ones that I was looking at like, oh, he's that guy. He's gonna be that next one to take this media thing to the next level. But I mean, there's been a whole bunch of people like y'all did that. Udis and Melo did that, right? Like, you know, you got people now like Ivy Rivera in radio, right? Like Nyla Simone. You got person that like the game is so different now because you got people like Melo doing this and like, everybody like it's so many different voices, people that you never would even think of. Who would have thought that one of the biggest platforms would be from one of the greatest tight ends of all time? Right. Like Shannon Sharp. Like
Crazy.
Who would have thought that?
Right.
So I mean, there's always that next person. Like you just don't know where they're gonna come from nowadays. You don't know if they're gonna come from radio, if they're gonna come from podcasts, if they're just gonna come off of YouTube. And what you said earlier, Mero, it's about experience. Like just sitting back, observing and giving people time to see what their whole game is gonna be.
Right.
Because you don't know yet. Like if you looked at me early on in my career, you probably wouldn't know I had a well-rounded game, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta wait and see. Like there's people that do one thing really good or two things really good, but who can like really, really be a complete player in the media game?
Though.
It takes time to see that.
That's a good point because we be so quick to judge off
He's
of
that.
Yeah, like we don't judge off of this a short window.
Yeah.
Right? Or from the beginning to where you at right at that point in time without giving it time to see the journey and see the experience that you go through.
That's why I hate when people compare
what is the journey? Like what, you know, we want to see the journey. In order for me to give you that, you know, I give everybody props. You know, I don't talk bad about nobody, but in order for you to get that right there is like you have to, I want to see the journey.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see how you fell and got back up, and if you fell again and got back up, and how you persevered and how you jumped over that hurdle when you did what you were supposed to do. And you know what I mean? Like it's a whole career that you have to go through in order for me to judge it.
Absolutely. Like you can't be like, if somebody did 4 or 5 seasons, you can't be like, oh, they the next Jordan. Oh, they the next Bron. Oh, they the next Melo. Like how? Yeah. It's been 4 years.
Come on, man. Like, you got to give him a decade at least.
Give him a decade at least.
I'm glad somebody else feel that sentiment.
At least. Like 4 years and you're comparing them to a person that's had a whole career.
In the history books.
In the history books already? That don't make no sense to me.
Come on, dog.
And you're putting too much pressure on them.
That's the part.
I used to say that was, we used to call that myth bleaking people.
Oh.
Because I love Bleak. Salute to Bleak.
Yeah.
But before Bleak put out an album, Jay-Z was like, he's the new improved me.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear that.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And so when the person comes out there and they might be really good, but they not that. And so now you critiquing this person and you grading them on a curve, grading them and putting them on a scale you shouldn't be putting them on it.
And they good.
They good.
But this person is.
But you told me he was this, so my expectation is here.
Right.
You setting the people up for failure like that, yo.
Listen, you said you don't like comparisons. You know what I mean? And Melo don't like lists and rankings neither. But you were recently named one of the most powerful figures in podcasting, according to Complex. Shout out to Complex. You know what I mean?
That was the Hollywood Reporter.
A Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
well, you giving false shout outs.
Oh, no, it was 2 different ones. No, you wrong. He right. It was 2 different lists. Hollywood Reporter said the most powerful people in podcasting. Complex said the most powerful people in hip hop.
Yeah, we know what we doing over here. What we talking about?
We're researching. You know what I'm saying? No, multiple lists don't even ask them how. You know what I mean? And yo, top 4 overall, top 5. You know what I'm saying? Do you like, are you one of those people that's like, yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? Or you like, yo, I'm just like, listen, I'm just working.
That's it.
I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean? Or like, do you think also, that these lists are constructive, or they just made to like stir shit up?
Yeah, they just made to stir shit up because, I mean, what are you basing the metrics off? Like, that's why I be asking, like, what's power? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you say the most powerful person in hip hop media, what does that even mean? Like, how do you even define what power is, right? And then when you look at those lists like that, it's complex in general. There's no executives on the list, right? Like, there's nobody who can actually push a button or make something happen. It's just like, so where's the power? Right?
A lot of times you don't see those guys.
Exactly. Right. So it's just like, what do you mean when they say power? So it's just a list to stir stuff up, to get conversation going on different platforms. I don't take it too serious. I actually just be happy. Like, I've been doing this 26 years. I've been doing Breakfast Club, it'll be 15 years this year. So to be on a complex list, and to be on a Hollywood Reporter list, and then to be on a Mediaite list, like I'm on a few different lists, so I must be doing something right.
That's bandwidth too.
That's
bandwidth.
Absolutely.
But yo, listen, man, it wouldn't be a shot. You my guy. Like I said, you've been seeing me since I'm a
where you
pup.
going at with this?
Listen, this is how you set it up, champ. This is how you set it up, champ. I know this dude since my bid didn't connect. You know what I'm saying? And they got you out here. This is like, listen, I don't want to call it Hovenaz because you might think of it differently.
It is not that.
It is not that.
Because I'm not neither one of them, and he's definitely not. No.
But this is the clubhouse, my nigga. So like, what the fuck is the situation with Elliot Wilson? Like, people see it going back and forth on Twitter.
I'm not even going back and forth.
It's like weird, like not weird in like yo, you a weirdo way, but like Elliot quote tweeting stuff. You responding directly on your platform.
One time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. And then, but then you know how the internet works. Absolutely. That one 30-minute gets cut into 10 3-minutes. You know what I mean? So, and they've been making the rounds. So, you know what I mean? As a disciple of the school of Charlamagne Media, talk to your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this, and how do I avoid this in the future? Because you know I got people out there that might want to say some things about me, Shaw.
I don't have no problem with Elliot Wilson. Elliot is trying to reinvent himself in this space. I said it. He's doing a bad DJ Academics impersonation, right?
Yo, come on.
He's trying to rile people up, and he did this last year. Last year, he went on Academics podcast and just randomly out of the blue, I ain't feeling Charlamagne right now. Like, for no reason. Like, I mean, no reason whatsoever. He gave some crazy reason. He said, I'm all about Black Effect, like, which is my company. So I'm all about promoting my company. Like, I didn't understand the logic. And so we talked about that. And so when the complex list came out this year, it wasn't even a return shot. I just saw it, and I'm like, I don't think he should be number 5. It's like we're sitting around talking about rap or basketball or anything. Like, I just don't think he should be number 5. Like, I haven't seen him put in the work over the past year to warrant that kind of number over people like Wallow and Gilly, over people like Nori, you know what I mean? Say what you want, over people like Vlad, over people like my man Gabe P from On the Radar. Like, those guys.
Shout out to Gabe P,
killing it. Gabe had Drake come freestyle on his show, Meek Mill, Big Sean. Like,
and the good thing about Gabe P, I'll give you flowers, Gabe P live, is that it goes everywhere.
Everywhere.
He'll bring a motherfucker you never heard of in your life that got bars, and then he'll bring in Drake the next day.
That's right. I be sitting in the studio with Gabe when we used to be in the old studio, because, you know, he's at Power 105, and he'd be putting me on to different artists, right? And so it's just like,
the new A&R.
He got it, though.
He got it.
Yeah.
And I've seen those dudes put in a whole lot of work. So it's like, for me, it's like, if you on the internet just trolling, like, really, that's what you getting number 5 for? Yeah. And my whole thing is this. Everybody in this space, if you're going to critique people, you should be able to take critique. He's clearly not capable of doing that.
That's a fact.
So it's like, you know, he's able to critique people and critique artists, but then as soon as you critique him, he's upset. And he's on the internet saying, fuck you, and sucking shit. And I'm like, that's when I just bow out. I'm like, I don't want to get beat up. Please don't beat me up. Like, leave me alone. I don't want none of like that. Don't beat me up.
You ain't getting beat up out here, fam. I
don't know. I don't know.
I see you roll around with the 10 people you roll.
I don't know. Don't beat me up, please. Just leave me alone.
Don't try to beat Charlamagne up. Don't listen to him.
No, because
you won't get beat up.
Because that's the thing with the internet. They use language that all of us understand means something else.
Yeah.
But God bless him. He's going to clip this and put it on his Instagram. I know he is. That's why it's like, oh, God. Like, he's going to clip it. Like, he loves this. He loves this type of shit. He loves it.
Yo, it's crazy. Isn't it too late in the game though to be doing that type of shit?
I would think so.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be that way at 53 years old. Every move I'm making now is to put myself in a position to where you won't even probably see me when I'm 50 plus years old. Like, I don't want to, I'm trying to, get it to where I can just go away and move behind the scenes in a real way. I don't want to be doing that at 53.
I'm trying to be Dick Wolf at 53.
Come on, Clarence Avon out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like I love seeing what 50 doing. I love what Hov doing. Like, these guys, you only see them if they want you to see them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the Issa Raes of the world. I'm looking at people like Don Peebles and Robert Smith and those guys. Like, those people are making, like, real moves in our spaces.
Where the list at?
That's what I'm saying.
Where the list at? You know what I'm saying? So, Melo, going from media to basketball did you ever find it a similar situation, right? Where you see like the player rankings and you as a hooper active playing against that player, you're like, man, that nigga ain't number 2. Like, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, does it become like a media thing where it's controlled by the media, or is it fair?
I think it's biased a lot of times. I think it's what have you done for me lately at that moment.
Word.
Right, in a sense. And for me, I always, like, honestly, I never cared about it. So I never looked at it like, oh, this nigga number 2, like, this nigga in front of me. It was just always just how and why. Like, how could you guys say that, but the masses ain't? Like, my competitors, my people that I'm going up against is not. Like, we know what's going on. So I always felt like I was up against the 8 ball every single time, which made me almost like fuck it, like fuck everything, and build this. It was like a whole shield around me in a sense to protect all of these darts that was going on.
Right.
So I always say, like, the love that's, you know, and I appreciate the love that I'm getting right now, and like it's a hell of a feeling. But with that being said, not no buts. With that being said, that wasn't what I experienced going through my career.
Right.
It was always one or the other. Oh. You get what I'm saying? It was always, you had to pick a side when it came to me. It was either him or Bron. Right? So you had to really pick a side, and people that know, like, those conversations is real conversations from the streets all the way up. Right? Those was real battle conversations amongst people. And if you chose that side, you couldn't fuck with that side.
It's always like that, though, right?
So
because you gotta have somebody got to have you back in the barbershop.
And I'm using that as an example.
I'm about to say that's some fight in the barbershop conversation.
Absolutely, and that was real heavy jail talk too, right? That was prison talk, right?
Bron can't get a bucket like Melo. Fuck out of here.
It was a lot of that, because I was connected with that. I understood what was going on with that, but I always felt like I had to work 4, 5, 6, 7 times harder than any of them niggas out there, which made me like shield away from, like, not like fucking with them, but like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna go train on my own. I don't want niggas around me. Like, I ain't really feeling that energy. Like, niggas already putting that out there. You get what I'm saying? So I was that throughout my career.
Why you feel like you had to work harder though? Because you had a natural gift for scoring that you can't teach.
Yeah, but I had to work extra 10 times harder to get those people who was making the decisions on who was better in all of this to even look over there at me.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? Because it was always somebody else. It was always Bron. It was always Paul Pierce. It was always a T-Mac. It was always this person. It was like, oh, okay, and Melo. So what I did was I went straight to the love that I know and I was comfortable with, which was the streets, which was the hood, which was my people. And I went to that because that's the only thing that I could fall back on. I didn't know this other route.
But you know that scares them though. They can't make you the face of the NBA when they think you a goon.
Right. So absolutely. So because of that, I became that right there. You know what I mean? I became the predecessor of the AI. You get what I'm saying? I became that but I was bringing it on myself as well because I had this fuck you mentality. Fuck everybody, fuck the world, me against the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm writing why me and why not and all that shit, me against the world. This was the shit that I was going through. So unless you understood that and went back to that or was during that time, people probably was like, yo, what Melo over there? What Melo talking about right now? But that was 15 years of my career. And then that led up to me getting out the league. So now I got to reinvent myself.
Hold on, champ. But this is what I tell you. We always talk about, and you especially specifically, you talk about after you retire, you got that window where they love you. Then it's like, yo, who the fuck is Vince Carter? You know what I'm saying? We did shut the sign, yo, I love you, sign, I'm a boy. You know, yo, who the fuck? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but in my eyes, as a fan, Shaw, obviously, you know what I'm saying, as a fan as well, the fact that you leaned into that, I'm from the hood.
Hell yeah.
This is where I'm from.
Absolutely.
That's why, to me, that's why when you was like, yo, my window's this, that, I'm like, nah, champ. No. That window's been tripled by the fact that...
I'm going to elaborate on that. Finish.
That window's been tripled by the fact that you got hood love.
We arguing Melo all day.
All day.
AI, we arguing all day.
So I'm going to elaborate to that. Like, y'all, we damn near came up together. Right? We watched sports together in our growing, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Like, we watched people die. We watched musicians. We watched TV shows. We grew up together. Icons. Like, we had icons growing up in every industry. Today, when I say the 5-year window, is because of what people know me as of today. This generation knows what they've seen lately. They don't know the 15 years from 04, from 2000s all the way to 2015. They don't know that. So this generation coming in after that. So that's why I say it's a 5-year window when it comes to basketball. Think about how fast the game is going. Think about how much turnover is happening within the game. Think about how many people leaving the game. Like, you have a short window.
I think they got
and
more.
I said that about D-Wade, right? I said that about D-Wade. Like, he's not in a lot of conversations anymore. Like,
he's number 3 on the shooting guard all time list.
Right? That goes without saying, but this generation ain't putting D-Wade in that conversation. So I observe all of that and say, you know what? That's reality. And I have to carve out some whole other shit because eventually they're going to start to know me for that. Right. These young kids know Magic for being the businasman. They don't know Magic from the Lakers.
They know the movie theater.
They don't even know Magic had age. I'm not sure. Like, they don't even know that Magic. They don't know nothing about. They don't know nothing about none of that. They ain't see the press conference. And all of our hearts dropped and like, what the fuck is this? They don't remember the All-Star game when he came back after that.
He gonna bleed on
and won the MVP. Yes, when Karl Malone didn't want to play against him. They don't know that.
Crazy.
So that's why I say, if you want to judge me by the longevity, judge me by the career, judge me by everything that I've been through, and still where I'm at today, right? So which is that's the testament of the not giving a fuck, but also being smarter and more aware and understanding on, okay, what I really have to do.
And that's why I don't be liking lists, right? I'm not gonna say I dislike lists, but I feel like there's certain people you can't put on lists no more.
Yeah.
Like, you can't rank LeBron right now with everybody else in this era. You can't rank Hov. Like, it just looks crazy. Like, you do a list, it's like Hov number 7. And I fuck with Skilla Baby, but Skilla Baby number 1. And I'm just saying, it just don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because these people have a whole career. We've seen the whole totality of them. You can't say, and one thing I love Anthony Edwards too. Why are you comparing him to Jordan already? Don't do that to him. Stop Michael Jordan.
That's too much pressure.
The greatest of all time. Like, come on, cut it out. Like, that's why I don't like when they do when somebody's been around for a long time and they make these lists, like, and they put them on there with people that are still active. Because Angie Martinez, Sway, Big Boy, they can't be on this list. Like, they in the Hall of Fame. They on the Mount Rushmore. They should be someplace else.
I hate lists.
There was bro, to me, it's like the list, they serve a purpose. Like you said, like, it's just media, bro. It stirs shit up, whatever. But then it's like, bro, there's moments, man. Like Ray J calling up the Breakfast Club, bro, that's a moment. That's a moment. And that's a cultural moment. You know what I'm saying?
That's my guy.
It's shit like that that's like, bro, you remember when you was in the car like, yo, hold the fuck, what is going on here? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, to me, that's what solidifies somebody as like, all right, bro, they saw the opportunity and they seized it. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like that, you can't even script. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But like being aware as a media personality, as you know, doing what you do, having respecting your craft to use the phrase, knowing the opportunity is there. Let me get, like, you can't script it.
Nah, you
but
can't
when it's running by you, being able to catch it and make it into something.
But we didn't even know what that was back then, though. Because you got to think, like, now that's routine in the game, right? Like, you can be having a conversation with somebody and you say, oh, this gonna go viral. We weren't saying that back then.
No.
We was just like, yo, Ray J just called into the station wilding. We just was playing it back.
Yeah.
In your head, you didn't think like, yo, this is gonna go crazy.
Not back then.
Because you ain't think viral. Like, what was viral
not even
back
viral
then?
like numbers wise, but like, yo, people gonna be talking about this. When I go to get my shape up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah,
They gonna be talking about this
You
shit.
gonna hear it in the barbershop. Yeah, but I didn't think that it would be like a worldwide, international, viral phenomenon that is all in songs and everything else.
He got an indoor pool and an outdoor pool.
Yeah, he said I'm gonna get a shape up. I'm getting no damn shape up.
No, the beard.
Oh,
We got way come on. Big beard gentleman now. I didn't do the ball. He got the fresh ball. I didn't do it, but I didn't do it today.
But yeah, you don't know that back then. Back then, you just doing good radio. You know, or your man want to call. That's what it was. Ray J like, I need to call in right now. And he did. My man Billy hit us up like, yo, Ray J want to call in. I didn't know what Ray J was going to be on.
So to put it like this, take away the word viral. You just said it. Good radio.
Mm-hmm.
As a radio personality, did you know this is good radio?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, just from the school I come from. So I for me being in South Carolina, you know, New York radio was everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I came up listening to the Star and Buck era and Wendy Williams era and, you know, Angie when, you know, after I won't say his name, he pepper sprayed R. Kelly and you know what I'm saying? And then Hov goes to the radio station and then R. Kelly comes in right after him. Like, I remember those moments, you know? I won't say his name because he's a president of things now. He's a different person. You know, sometimes you say things on these podcasts and you bring people back to things like, what? He did what?
He did what?
You know?
And we don't gossip. We don't gossip.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna
do your Googles.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like, yo, I grew up off that type of radio. So to be creating our own moments like that, I was like, that's like, yeah.
So you create moments in another way on your Instagram. You got a phrase that you throw after something spicy. You just say, let's discuss.
Let's discuss.
You know what I'm saying? You throw out something that could be it could be interpreted 100 different ways, and you just let the comments comment.
I don't even discuss.
I
walk away from it. That's right. Y'all have this conversation.
So go from that to the book, you know what I'm saying? Like Shook Ones and Black Privilege, like two different bodies of work. The new joint, what is it? Because like people be like, all right, man, another Charlamagne book. What is the difference what sets this one apart from the other two? Yeah, that people could key in on. Like, oh, this is a book about this. Like, I need to read about this.
The first two was like more personal. The first book, Black Privilege. You know, I gave 7 lessons that I learned in my life, and I used historical context from my life to reinforce those lessons. Like, I love self-help books. Like, I love Robert Greene. I love Ryan Holiday. I love Don Miguel Ruiz, you know, Malcolm Gladwell. But when you read these books, they give you these lessons, but they give you a lot of historical context behind the lessons, right? I'm not that smart. So I'm just using things from my life. Shook One was more so about when I first started going to therapy in 2016. So I was just keeping notes of everything that I was learning in therapy. And I shared them in the book. And then I brought in my man, Dr. Ish Major, to do the clinical correlations to the things I was saying. He's an actual psychiatrist. So the things that I was talking about, I was sharing in therapy, he was giving actual clinical correlations, breaking it down from a doctor perspective. This new book, Get Honest to Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks. I left it in the car too. I don't know why I left it in the car. But
should have been up here.
I know, right there. But
Photoshop that shit.
Put on the shelf.
Oh, you got a copy, Jay? My man. There you go.
Come on, we
there
gotta
you
put that on the shelf over there.
My guy. Baby. Thank you.
There you go.
Yes. Get Honest to Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks. This is more just my observations of the world.
Hold on, time out.
That's you on the back, though?
Look at the headshot, dog.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Morris Chestnut.
Come on, dog.
The discount version.
You shitting me?
You know what I mean?
Come on, dog. Leading man in your latest Tubi film, dog. Come on, stop playing.
Bunch of clothes on that I took back the very next day, right after that shoot. But it's just observations of the world. Like, I'm in here talking about politics. I'm talking about you know, just how we are as a people in society. I got my man Aaron Magruder in here because, you know, he's a real good creative partner of mine. Oh, man.
Legend, bro.
Me and him create a lot of stuff together. He was executive producer on my last talk show. But he did a chapter in here called Death of a Nation. You know, because one thing about people like Aaron, like, you know how you watch these cartoons like The Simpsons and The Boondocks and they predict shit that 15, 20 years later you see? And I remember asking him, I'm like, yo, how are y'all able to do this? And he was saying he thinks it's just the satirist in him. And I promise you, everything that's going on now in politics, Aaron told me this was going to happen 6 years ago. I'm not even joking, like 6 years ago. And I was a consultant producer on the new season of The Boondocks that never came out. But if you saw the season of The Boondocks that he had, it's literally everything that's happening right now. And so he wrote a chapter here called Death of a Nation where he sees America at now and where he sees it going, you know, based on the outcome of the election in November. So, yeah, this is just, and this really just, I hate small talk. Like, I like to actually talk about things when you get with people. So it's like, you know how sometimes you be with people and they don't really have nothing to say? I give you like 20, 30 things to talk about in this book. Like, I really want you to pick up this book, pick a chapter, read it. It's 2-3 pages long, and at the end, let's discuss. Straight up, just talk about what's going on in the book instead of just sitting around making small talk about nothing.
Conversational prompts that matter.
Yes.
There you go, bro.
Absolutely.
Come on, dog. Yo, hire your boy. Lock lines all day. You know what I'm saying?
But that's good though. I mean, that's dope. I mean, congratulations on that. But
thank you, sir.
The fact that you can have conversations, like he want to dap you out. He want to give you 100 daps on here. You know what I mean? Every time.
You know what it is.
It's another national bestseller, man. I thank God. It's another national bestseller.
But the fact that you could, you know, have this experience and have this conversation or dialogue, like this is real conversation that should be had all the time.
Yeah.
And then say, all right, let's have a bill session after this. Like, let's really discuss what's happening. You gotta get honest. Like in those conversations, there's no way that you can read that, and then when it's time to get that bill session in and discuss it, you ain't honest in what's going on. So
man,
that shit is fire.
Yeah, I always felt like that my whole life. Back in February, I was on a ayahuasca retreat, right? And it was the first time I did it. It was a 3-day retreat. And it was the second night. And literally, like, it just came to me like, yo, stop lying to yourself and stop volunteering those lies to other people. Because I feel like that's what we all do in some way, shape, or form. Like, we wake up every day and we feel like we got to perform. We feel like we got to put this mask on. We got a image to uphold or a reputation to uphold. But how many of us are really just taking that mask off and just showing up being our true, authentic selves? Like, that's what I challenge myself to do every day. I want to show up as my true, authentic self every single day. That is a very difficult thing to do. You have to be intentional about doing it because it's too easy to get caught up in the lie. And so I already had wrote a bunch of the book, and I didn't know how I was going to put it together. Like, what was I actually trying to say? Right. And so when that revelation came to me, that's when I came up with the Get Honest to Die line, paying homage to 50 too, because, you know, I like to always keep it hip-hop as well. Got to salute Fifth, because if not, Fifth will be asking me for money. Asking me, telling me to pay him by Monday.
Yes. He already gonna hit you and say,
he already did. He posted, when the book came out, he posted it on Instagram, and he said, your idea to use my idea was a good idea. You know what I mean? And I just left a comment, I'll have your money by Monday. You know what I'm saying? So Get Honest to Die line, paying homage to one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, Get Rich or Die Trying. But I just feel like that's a great saying. Like, get honest or die lying. You're either gonna have to get honest with yourself or you're gonna die just telling all of these lies to yourself more than anything. My dad used to always say that shit to me, like, yo, you're not lying to me when you lie, you're only lying to yourself. And that's real. Like, man, who wants to wake up every day and lie to themselves?
Listen, man, sometimes your pops will punch you in the chest with a phrase.
That's a struggle, man.
That you will think back.
Getting up lying to yourself.
Oh, man.
That's a struggle.
And mad people do it every day.
Dog. Listen,
every day.
You got to look at the man in the mirror.
That's
you know
it.
What I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's the only way you can make a change.
That's it.
Greatest song of all time.
I'm going to steal a phrase from you. Let's discuss.
Word.
It's 2024, dog. We was talking about celebrities being seen when they want to be seen. Nowadays, it feels like you see motherfuckers everywhere, dog. Is the idea of being a celebrity even a real thing in 2024?
No. I don't even know what celebrity is. Like, there's no such thing as celebrity in 2024. That's why I like talking to people who were famous in the 80s, who were famous in the 90s, because they experienced like that real celebrity getting chased down the street, like miles of people outside your hotel. Yeah. Like, I don't think anybody really gets that anymore except for a select few of entertainers and probably like the athletes. Like you know what I mean? Like I was watching an old video of Kobe. I didn't even realize Kobe was so big in China. Till this year. I don't know. It was something that came on about the Olympics and they were just showing how like these people were just flooded outside of his apartment in China. Not his apartment, his hotel in China. And it's like, that's actual celebrity. That's actual fame. Bro. Ain't nobody out here in entertainment that you care like that about. Yeah. Beyonce, maybe. Taylor Swift,
right?
Maybe.
It's like a
maybe.
Handful. Yo, listen, man. Mike Jackson's my GOAT. And
oh
like
man,
when you show them old videos, bro.
Come on, man.
That motherfucker's in. I ain't gonna say Uzbekistan again, like last time. Azerbaijan. I'm gonna say this time.
They got real fighters over there. You better chill out.
You know what I'm saying?
They got hands over there.
You know what I'm saying?
Chill out.
This Mike will go anywhere in the world, and the whole 5 front rows is passing out.
Mike Tyson, Jesus level.
Straight up.
Mike Tyson as an athlete.
Straight up as an athlete, yeah.
Nah, Mike said he'd have met every king, prince, bro, in all these countries.
They love motherfuckers. They love that shit.
Yeah,
they probably bought that nigga 5 Tigers.
I mean, it's the Mikes. It's the Jordan, Jackson, and Tyson.
Yeah, you know that's another one. Like
and Ali,
everybody the next Michael Jackson. No, they not.
No,
I was born in '78, but I was around for that era. Like, no, Mike sold 100 million records,
bro. Let me tell you,
and you had to go in the store and buy them,
physical copies.
You know what I'm saying? And they sold out. And you had to go to a different store.
Nah, man.
Just cut it out.
Nah, Mike had people fainting at shows. Like, bro, Michael Jackson couldn't show up anywhere.
Nah.
I be lying to people telling them that there's a Michael Jackson law. And I be saying that like people like Taylor Swift, Beyonce can't even go into restaurants because of this thing called the Michael Jackson law, because if they show up in public, they'll cause riots.
All right.
I did that as a social experiment lying on my podcast, Brilliant Idiots, with my man Andrew Schultz. I did it as a social experiment lying. And I was like, watch this turn into a headline. And it became a headline.
Yo, and
I said I was lying. I said I was lying. And they still ran it as a headline.
Yeah, that's Media 2024,
That's
man.
Media 2024.
Television, baby. Television and television.
All right, let's discuss. After the performance in the gold medal game, is Steph Curry the greatest point guard of all time?
He's the greatest shooter I've ever seen. And he's a hell of a player. He's a great player. Like, fuck best shooter, fuck best point. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest players that ever graced this game. And I don't think we probably will ever see this again. So we better, let's appreciate this window of what we have with Steph.
I got Steph in my top 5. I actually got Steph number 3.
Like list.
I don't. This barbershop shit though. But when I say my list, you'll know why. You're not gonna like list after I say my list. My top 5 is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Bron, and Magic Johnson.
That's a hell of a list.
But that's in order.
Yeah, but that's a hell of a list though. Yeah. I don't like saying the list because.
Oh no, when you say it, it's different.
Yeah, I don't like
you say
it's
on ESPN.
They're gonna be mad.
That's it.
Why he got him on there? No, that's crazy.
I say shit niggas don't care. You say
like you said, certain people don't deserve on lists.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's hard because if you really put those certain people on the list, you covering 3-4 spots already in the 5. So it's like some people just keep off the list.
And I look at people who changed like the game.
Culture.
Michael Jordan changed the culture of the game. There was about 20 other Michael Jordans, probably more, not after Michael. Not there was no Michael, but you know what I mean. People who they would say, oh, he's like Mike, he's like Mike. Yeah. Steph is the same way. Steph has changed all basketball.
Let me tell you something.
Men's basketball, women's basketball,
bro,
everything.
They were saying
I'm coaching these little motherfuckers, dog, and all these little white kids want to shoot 30-foot threes from half court. Cut it out. I want to see 3 passes.
Dr. J was the one before Mike. They were saying Mike was Dr.
Yeah, that's true.
High flyer.
Yeah, that's true.
Know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Swag with it. Man, listen, this is the number 1 show in America. Both our segments are the number 1 segments in America. The most important one, the one where we get deep, is the 7 p.m. moment. You know what I'm saying? And as having the honor to witness your career over the years, you know what I'm saying? What do you think personally was your 7 p.m. moment? Meaning, the moment in your career where you had to get real or stop.
Get honest with that line.
Well, you had to say, yo, I have to, there's no plan B. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Damn.
This is the path that I'm taking, and I'm gonna go 120 miles an hour.
All my eggs is in this basket.
Yeah, I feel like I always felt like that since '98 when I became an intern, because I didn't go to college. Like, I don't have any plan B. Like, I don't have any other skills. I didn't learn a trade. You know what I mean? Like, all I knew was radio. So when I was 18, 19 years old and got an internship in radio and fell in love with the game of radio and started studying the craft of radio and studying the Angie Martinez's and, you know, the big boys and all of these people who were the Howard Sterns, right? The Petey Greens, learning about all of these people. I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. And I said to myself back then, I want to do it on the level they're doing it at. Like, I don't want to be the local radio personality, you know, in my town, you know, just doing the time and temperature and introducing the new Drake song. Like, I didn't want that for myself. I wanted to do
national syndication.
Yeah, from the beginning, Tom Joyner, Doug Banks, like those are people, God bless the dead, those are people that I was looking at. And so it's like, yeah, from 1998, I knew this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. There was no plan B.
Right. So in the book, you got a chapter called Self-Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you talk about gangster rap, you say hip hop is beautiful, but also that it's undermining us. And a lot of people agree, you know what I'm saying? So can you, like, let's discuss.
Yeah,
you know
it was more so, that chapter is more so about the power of hip hop, right? Because, you know, growing up, hip hop influenced me to do so many different things. Like, I started studying 5% teachings because of hip hop. I wanted to know
in South Carolina, you was like, yo, what's 120 guys?
Absolutely. We had guards in South Carolina. We had a lot of guys in South Carolina.
There.
My man Divine Allah is the one who put me onto the 120 lessons, but, you know, it was because of Wu-Tang. It was because of Rakim. Like, my dad gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was 8, right? But it wasn't until Spike Lee did the movie where it's like, oh, all right, it's the book my dad gave me, right? It put a different value on it for me. Or when like, he used to make me sit down and watch Minister Farrakhan speeches, but when I heard Chuck D say Farrakhan's the prophet, I think you ought to listen to him. Or you hear Biggie Small say deep like the mind of Farrakhan. It puts things in a different perspective. Now I got to circle back. Like, this is what Pops wanted me to listen to. So it's just more so about the influence that hip hop can have. I mean, I wanted a 38 snub nose because I saw Tupac had one in Juice. Like that is the type of influence that, you know, we have with this culture. So it's just more so a challenge to constantly understand that power. With great power comes great responsibility, right? So we don't know that when we're young. When we're young, we just all wilding, having a good time, you know, living our life. But as you get older, and hip hop is 50 years old now, when you know better, you got to do better and you got to teach better. So it's just letting this generation know the power that hip hop has. And we got to constantly remember that when we're not just in the studio rapping, but when we're on these platforms having conversations, when we're writing these books, all of these different things. So that's literally what that chapter is. Because, you know, there's a lot of things about hip hop. If we keep going the route we're going, we might not even have this culture that we claim to love.
That's a fact.
You know?
Yeah. And as somebody that's been in it for so long, been in music for so long, and seeing it, like the landscape change, how do you toe the line between doing, like, you know, like you're saying, like the stuff that's popular now, like the drill stuff and all that, and get into that era that we grew up under, the Tribe Called Quest, the knowledge of self, empowerment, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you toe that line now in 2024 without being like, this corny ass nigga, old motherfucker? We talk about that all the time. like the OGs and the younger generation clicking up and being like, let me give you some game. Oh, put me onto what's going on now, as opposed to being, this old ass motherfucker. He ain't getting money like me. Yeah, I don't think there is no towing the line. I think that there's just different. Blurred, there's different categories. Like, Nas is rapping about brunch on Sunday. That's dope. That's a dope contemporary hip hop, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z 444 album. Jay-Z talking about going to therapy. He talking about, you know, generational wealth for his kids. Like, he's talking about issues with his father. Like, if you a certain age, that's where you at. Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with that. I'm not doing the drill stuff. Like, that ain't for me. Like, I know that's not for me. My knees are not built to get sturdy, bro, at all.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, for me, it's no towing the line. It's like, yo, if you a young kid and you into all of the different, you know, variations of hip hop, all the different eras of hip hop, salute to you. Your pops taught you well. Your uncle taught you well. If you're not, I'm not mad at you, right? Because I wasn't into whatever was going on in the 60s and 70s when I was listening to hip hop in the late 80s. I went back and listened to that because my pops was riding around listening to a lot of the James Brown and stuff like that. But I'm not mad at these kids if they not into what we grew up on. Like J. Cole, Kendrick, the Drakes, the Big Seans, like the Wale's, like they were a generation that wasn't on none of that. They were just dope MCs. They weren't talking about killing and drug dealing or none of that. They were just dope rappers. So it's weird when people like act like hip hop is so terrible when the reality is you just got different people doing different things.
Right. Different forms.
That's it. Like I love Rhapsody. She's one of the most phenomenal MCs, period.
This is incredible.
What? Yeah. Right?
And she always gets brought up, and it's crazy to me because it's like when people talk about like, yo, let's change like how we approach hip hop, she always comes up, bro. And it's like, shout out to you because you deserve your flowers. But yo, can we turn those flowers into numbers?
Yeah, you know that's true. That's real. That's real.
Like Hope said, I can't do numbers like the Roots. Like,
that's
but
real.
like it's up to us.
She's definitely in my 5.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, for sure, definitely.
Lyrically, I don't think there's nobody better that's not named Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
I'm talking about over the last decade plus. Yeah. And even when we talk about like the street shit in hip hop, it's like this. Everybody we grew up on was street.
Oh, hell yeah.
But they still gave us consciousness in their music. Like the Lock still gave you jewels. Yeah. Even though they made you want to stab somebody with something sharp. Right? They still gave you jewels.
They'd be like, but if you do that, you're doing 10 in the bank.
Exactly. No, what Meryl's saying is real. They always told us the consequences. Yeah. Hope said it was all good just a week ago. He broke the whole thing. He told you exactly how it was going to go.
Friend or foe, nigga. Like,
that's right. That's right. That's right. So I think that's what's actually missing. You got a lot of people just doing.
The end. The end.
Yeah.
The end.
They're not telling you about that 30, 40, 50 years you about to get. For whatever reason, those guys that we grew up on had a different maturity level, or they was paying attention to the world enough to understand the consequences for actions, and they were able to put it in music.
But we also had people to look up to, though. Like we had people that we knew and respected, like OGs and people that came before us. Like we knew the protocol in the hood. We knew who this person was. We knew it was hierarchy. We knew it. It is what it is. And today it's not that. You know, it's the seeds that was planted has now blossomed and they just taking over and they just doing what they want to do. Where now those OGs is kind of pardon, but swallowed into them weeds like that in the sense, and they got to maneuver their way out unless you back all the way out, right? And start thinking where you at right that moment. You gonna get stuck in that shit, and that's what's happening. That's real. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a young man's game. Like let these little niggas out here
they'll learn.
They got to go through it just the way that we went through it, just the way that everybody else went through it, but we still got to step back in and like, yo, listen, we still got to give them the game because there's a lot of them that's willing to listen. We just feel like they not going to listen, so we're not going to attempt to give them that conversation.
They either going to learn or they going to die.
That part.
That's just the truth to the matter.
I mean, yo, listen.
My dad used to tell me, you if you don't change your lifestyle, you're going to end up in jail, dead, or broke sitting under a tree.
Yeah, but they already accepted that, right? So
that's the crazy, and that's the shit that's
you know,
shit.
And I'm sure people be like, nah, fuck no. But yeah, nigga, in the hood is already accepted like what's gonna happen. Yeah. The fate is already there. So you accept that. You in there, which makes you go as hard as you go in those environments because I've accepted the fact that I'm gonna die. Like this is it in this situation right here.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no hope in those situations, in those environments. Right? Which is why there's so much shit that's going on and the cycle continues. Will always be crime, will always be this, will always be that.
Bro, now I said it.
They box us in. It's 4 blocks of everything, 4 blocks of the same shit on every neighborhood.
Man, the projects is like a maze of black rats trapped.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Plus the island is packed. You know what I'm saying? Before I tee up the #1 segment in America.
The island is packed too. Before
the island is packed. The island is packed for real.
They got more room for you, black ass.
They will put you somewhere.
You know what? Melo said something else that was real just now, having OGs, right?
Yeah.
Another component to that is how people communicate.
Yes.
Meaning, we didn't have these forms of communication where you could just talk to somebody through a social media, talk crazy, talk reckless. If you talked reckless back then, you was gonna have to see that person that you was talking reckless about, like in some way, shape, or form. I can tell when a person's never been punched in the face.
Thank you.
Straight up.
I tell people this shit all the time. When we was younger, tell me if I'm wrong. the older heads would just come around and just tax your shit, fuck you up for no reason, just because you was the little guy. You know what I'm saying? And you had to like,
that's
then
true.
you had to start swinging on them.
We the fault for that though. We the fault. Like it was passed down to us. It's been passed down to us. That trauma been passed down to us. And if you grew up in that environment, it was passed down to you.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the blueprint. These are the rules that you have to abide by. So it's passed on. And every time it's passed on, it's always one bad motherfucker who is leaking out and just doing something and doing his own thing and start his own shit up, right? So now it's passed down to the point where it's super watered down. Like the streets is super watered down now.
That's crazy.
Right? So now it's the wild, wild west. It's every man for themselves. That's the end. That's where we at right now. And it's sad to see it, but nobody is going back and helping that.
Listen, let me tell you something. Go home. If you under the age of 25 years old, go home and watch The Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And learn about unity and respect for your borough. We gonna send my man C the God home with the #1 segment in America, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? This is fuck with it or fuck out of here. Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying? I know you're a super fan of the show. You watch it every single day, you know what I'm saying? You watch it on the plane, on the train. So
I do though, that's real.
Hey,
I do.
Respect, you know what I'm saying?
I actually stole a question from y'all recently. I don't know if it was here. I saw somebody ask you the question. I asked Clarissa Shields the same question this morning, Melo.
Yeah.
Somebody asked you, would you rather have an NBA ring or trade all 3 of your medals? That was here? Was that here?
No, I did it over there in Paris.
Oh, okay. I saw somebody ask you that.
Yeah, they did.
All right, yeah.
I did though. I asked him in the text.
I stole that.
Oh, you did? That's where it came from. Yeah.
I stole that question for I gave y'all credit though. I asked Clarissa Shields the same thing. And she was like, damn.
We collect on Tuesdays. 50 collect on Mondays.
Yo, so the fucking with it obviously is like, yo, I fuck with this, you know what I'm saying? I like this idea or trend, whatever. Fuck out of here is you've been in New York long enough, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here
Absolutely.
with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So more older rappers are releasing albums and arguably, you know what I'm saying, it could be argued, making better music than their young counterparts. Like Nas, Killer Mike, Common.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They out here still cooking and making good music. Not just making, you know what I'm saying, caca. You know what I mean? So there's been a debate on whether this warrants creating a new category in hip-hop. You mentioned it. Adult contemporary hip-hop. You know what I mean? Q-Tip, who produced LL Cool J's latest joint, he said, it would be nice to have everything in one pot. If there's a need to do so, call it traditional hip-hop, as adult will make it ageist prejudice.
I get what Q-Tip's saying. I like adult contemporary hip-hop. I've been saying that.
Fuck with it? You fuck with the... So the question is, separating the old heads from the new jacks for recognition purposes.
Yeah, the reason I don't like traditional is because I'm from South Carolina. I'm from the South.
Right.
So I remember when they didn't think what South artists were doing was traditional.
Right.
I remember when, there was artists in New York who frowned upon the things that were coming from the South. We acting like Outkast didn't get booed at the Source Awards.
Yeah.
Like that. Everybody forgets that moment. Everybody remembers, the Suge Knight, Diddy stuff, but everybody forgets Andre getting up there saying the South has got something to say, and the South hasn't looked back since. So I remember when people didn't think what 3-6 was doing was traditional hip hop, what Project Pat was doing was traditional hip hop.
Master P,
in
New Orleans, yeah,
Cash Money. Juvenile, one of the nicest lyricists ever. Lil Wayne, one of the nicest lyricists ever. Like Scarface might have always got his props. He might have been like the only one that historically always got.
UGK.
They just do.
Yeah.
UGK, I think UGK too, fun being.
But it was like a peer thing too, because they all got props from like dudes like Hov.
Yes,
and
yes.
So it was always like, yo.
So when you say traditional, what is traditional? West Coast traditional might be different than East Coast traditional. East Coast traditional is different than down South traditional. Mm-hmm. Down South traditional is different than Florida traditional. Right. Like Uncle Luke, not hip hop. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Nasty as We Want to Be is probably the most important album ever. Because Luke had to go to court to fight for everybody to have freedom of speech to say what they want on records. The parental advisory sticker is because of Uncle Luke. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what is traditional hip hop? Like, I feel like all of these different regions played their part to create this beautiful culture and genre that we have. So I like adult contemporary as opposed to traditional hip hop.
Traditional makes shit sound old, B.
You think so? Adult just grown to me. Like
so this is my thing.
Like Kendrick last album to me is an adult contemporary hip hop album.
I fuck with it, but I would call it traditional because I'm flipping it. I fuck with traditional because adult contemporary just sounds like
some old ass shit.
Yeah, like John Tesh. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit. Like adult contemporary jazz. Like the shit at the dentist's office. Like, yeah, don't do that to cause like we all grew up on this shit. Don't make me feel old, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's what it is, though. It is what it is. If they want that recognition, like we have to separate it. We have to separate it.
I agree.
Because it's already being done. It's already being divided anyway. You know, that old ass shit, that nobody want to hear that old ass music. Like, it's already being separated organically and naturally. So why not put it in its own category? I would love that. Now you give them, those artists who's in adult contemporary, that lane, like to really shine and have something to look forward to, and maybe they could win awards in that category as opposed to LL coming out in a couple weeks or in a month or two, and he got a banging ass album, and he got to go up against Future and Gunna, and you know what I mean? Like all these niggas out here, like Sexy Red and Glorilla. You got to go up against all of that shit. Like naturally, they're gonna be pulled and navigated towards the younger. So I'm fucking with the two lanes, like not even two lanes, but creating a separate category underneath of hip hop because it's different forms of hip hop.
And it sounds different. Like Throw On Life's a Bitch and Then You Die Right Now by Nas and AZ. That's it feels adult contemporary. It's laid back.
But those museum pieces, though, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Those are museum pieces right there.
Yeah, nah, straight up. But it's crazy because, like, as a father, like, I'm listening to AZ. I think he's one of the Core Mega. Like, I grew up on those dudes. Like, early 90s Queens had shit crazy, fantastic. So he'll listen to that, but then he's also got me listening to like D-Thang and like all this, you know what I mean?
Which is dope though, which is dope to do, to have that diversity. I'm with that all day long. I can rock with you all day long with that. It's just, I know if it's a category for this, and if you go over to that category, that means you have a level of interest of understanding that category, right? So now you have a choice to go to that category.
Right. Because you don't put anybody, it's culture behind that.
We had a choice. We had a choice to go to these categories when we was coming up. But everything was in one category because it was super, it was elite. Every project was elite. Now, if you have that genre or that category underneath of hip hop, it separates it. And it gives us, and now we can really teach. Now we can really guide. We can't teach and guide when we talking one thing, but it's still in the same lane as these youngins. We can't do that.
Nah, you can't do that. Nah, you will never see me doing this and talking about gra gra. Nah, I'm smoking on sativa.
Your body won't even allow you.
Nah,
that's the crazy part.
I'm smoking no ops. I'm smoking
straight haze.
Straight haze, bro.
You get to a certain age. You get to a certain age, there's certain things your body can't do.
Come on,
it's just like sports. Like you can't jump like Anthony Edwards. These guys no more. Like your body's just physically not able to do it. I'm physically not able to do a TikTok dance.
Nah, not at all.
I can't do it. Even if I tried, I can't do it.
Bro, I'm fighting for 45 seconds max. You know what I'm saying? And I'm throwing you into a fire hydrant, bro. I'm not fighting fair. We're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Listen, but the last question, and the fuck with it, the fuck out of here, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Jay, am I correct? Yeah, we got two more. Hey, listen.
I got time for two more. Yeah.
Nobody here got this problem. You know what I'm saying? Because we all 6'5" and above. But count your days short. Yes, you are. Shh.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? More Chestnut in the house. Count your days, short kings, because women are now using technology to catch you in your lies. They're using ChatGPT to discover how tall men actually are. They take the pictures that men post on dating apps, and AI analyzes the spatial references in the picture to give a height estimate that might not match their listing. Yo, if you out here boosting, selling drugs, bro, watch the fuck out, because women are trying to find out how tall you are. So if you're out here doing something crazy, you better be moving by yourself.
That ain't
the question here, fucking with the fuck out of here. Women using technology to throw salt in the game and burst a player's bubble.
Them giving women to use the technology, like, it ain't the women using the technology. It was planted here. See how tall these niggas are.
So there's all these 6'8" niggas out here.
Why they using it for this though? You got ChatGPT and you could be figuring out all the 7 wonders of the world, and that's what you care about? How tall the motherfucker is?
Come on, dog. That's why you gotta get this.
You got ChatGPT.
It'll give you some real shit to talk
AI
about.
can give you a whole business plan right now.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do, they give you a whole business plan. How to do it, how to run it day to day, financials, products, everything.
So we fucking with it?
Nah, I'm not fucking with that.
You not fucking with it? Up there. No,
I'm not fucking with it because I want y'all to be using ChatGPT for something better.
That's right.
That's what I'm not fucking with.
Listen, Uncle Charlotte, goddammit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking with it because I am 6'2". You know what I'm saying? Barefoot.
Niggas do be lying about their height though. Chat.
They do.
Well, they getting the surgery now.
Oh yeah, no,
What's
that's
the
crazy
surgery?
though.
They can make you taller.
What you mean on the hills? What you?
I don't know what they doing.
They extend this shit here.
What's that?
They
Your fibula?
they
Your
put like
tibula?
metal rods in your joint to extend your leg. Pardon left. But they extend your joint.
Pardon.
I gotta start saying pardon. Pardon might be better than pause.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Pause mean you want to watch. Pausing, like, let me see more.
Let me pause. Let me put this at half speed.
It should be fast forward, actually. That's what it actually should be.
So they extend your tibia.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? With like some metal rods or whatever. So they had a dude that went viral actually because he went from like, I think it was like 5'9"
I seen him.
to like 6'1", 6'2".
Word?
Crazy. But it's a process, bro. They putting metal rods in your joint. It's like recovering from an injury.
But why you want to be tall? Like I'm saying, like if you already at an age
That's
you
very
stop
funny
growing,
coming from you, motherfucker.
If you already 32 years old,
6'8".
Yeah.
Top 10 scorer.
That's like a billionaire.
The
billionaire be like, money don't make you happy. Money can't buy happiness. Why you want to be tall? You 6'9".
Nah, I'm saying you already peaked out. Like you already 30. Why you 5'9"? Why you want to go be 6'4"? You 30.
That's true. That was true.
Now you fucked up. Now you used to be 5'8" your whole life. Now you
what are we doing? Now you looking like a dork at 30.
Yeah,
like,
your
what
whole
are
life
you doing?
changed.
You walking doofy and shit.
now.
No, you're right. That's smart.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Nobody fucking with that. Yo, if you short, stay short, man. You know what I'm saying? Man wasn't meant to
That's
fly
right, man.
or whatever.
Be grateful for what God gave you.
That's
You know
a
what I'm
fact,
saying?
man.
Maybe you short, but you got nice eyebrows or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God
you,
for
Melo.
what you got. Count your blessings.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
I didn't give you that one. You know what I'm saying? You got best eyebrows in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Him and Barkley.
Look, come
Barkley
on
got some
now.
ill shit too.
Daily Show need to give him 25 M's to host every day. I said it. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
I love that.
Thank you, sir.
Respect, you know what I'm saying? I got to do it. Up next, Charles Barkley, our favorite, Chuck. He recently shared that he left $100 million on the table at a minimum by staying loyal to TNT. TNT is currently entering its final season of NBA rights and the iconic Inside the NBA, which we all know and love. Fucking with it or fuck out of here. Leaving $100 million on the table to stay loyal to a company.
Then he shit on Jalen Brunson for leaving the money on the table?
Yeah.
With the Knicks?
Yep. But they were saying, oh, he make it back in endorsements and this, that,
Niggas ain't making $100 million.
But they,
Fuck out of here. Like, come on. Now we
Melo
gonna
say that.
Now we gonna keep it a buck. Now we gonna keep it a buck.
You know
Niggas
what
ain't
the
playing
checks
those
like.
games. This is only
Hey, this is why I fuck with Melo.
Come
Melo, I
on.
don't know if you remember this. I remember back in the day, we was on a boat, and you was like, yo, man, how are these motherfucking rappers all flying private?
I don't
He
want
was like,
to know.
I got a $100 million contract, and I don't fly private like
wanted to
that.
know. I just
And that's
wanted
when
to
I
know.
knew. I was like, yo, these niggas really be fronting.
I
These
just
rappers
want-
be fronting.
I wanted to know. It was just, I wanted to know. I can't question the shit now. I can't question the shit now. These niggas out here doing some, they doing
Come
different
on,
shit
man.
out here right now.
this is the best show in the game.
But no,
bro.
that's
Come on.
like I fuck with it, and this is gonna be something different coming from me because most people would have said Melo would have took the money. Nigga, I took the money in 2010, motherfucker.
when
I was
it was important.
supposed to. Like, come on, let's not go
Come on.
there. So with Barkley, it comes down to this is my home. Like this is home. I don't want to leave this. Like I done built this. We done built this.
All right.
I done built my whole life off of this shit now. Nah, I can't leave. I can't. The money is enticing because they got to throw the money out there.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, he deserves the numbers that's out there. But you can't leave that. That's just me speaking from a loyalty situation. Like, that's real shit what he did.
Yeah.
Because I know the numbers that's being thrown at Barkley. I know the conversations that's being had about Barkley in that world. Those numbers is real. Those numbers is official. Them Stephen A. numbers is official. All them numbers is real. Let's they real. But I I'm leaving this to go over here to somebody else's house. Nah.
I fuck with it too. I fuck with it for all the reasons Melo just said, and I fuck with it for the reasons Barkley said. Barkley said he wanted to make sure that his people at TNT still got paid for another year. You know, I'm the type of person, man, if what you build only benefits you, then it's not big enough.
Right.
So if he's in a situation where, you know, his presence is generating this type of revenue and all of these people are still going to be getting paid, I fuck with it. It's the same reason Jalen Brunson took a pay cut, so he can bring other people on the team because he wants to win, because he knows it's bigger than him. I respect shit like that. I mean, Barkley rich, like he got it. Like I'm not saying another $100 million don't hurt at all.
And also everybody's situation is totally different. We don't know what Barkley is thinking about. Like I'm just going off of the fact of just loyalty. You stand on it. Like you get what I'm saying? Like we ain't, I've been rolling with them for 30 years. Like we ain't doing that. Fuck that. It's one for all and all for one, motherfucker. Like,
why? How old is Barkley? 60-something?
Yeah.
Been to TNT
like what am I doing?
Like, that shit wouldn't even look right.
I'm gonna go over ESPN and be Lee Corso.
Why?
Lee Corso.
Like why?
With the crazy hat on every week? Nah, man.
That's my guy, Lee Corso.
Man, I fuck with it for the same reasons you just said, because like Ho said, if every nigga in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged. Nobody will fall because everyone will beat each other's crutches. You know what I'm saying? Like gospel. So if you got a 100-man team and everybody's eating and you at the top of the chain, and if you leaving 100 dudes in the lurch, I don't respect that shit.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So super fuck with it. And we super fuck with Charlamagne Tha God, you know what I'm saying?
My brother.
The homie, Monk's Corner in the motherfucking house, New York radio legend, you know what I'm saying? 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, baby. This is vibes, baby. You know what it is. The #1 show in America.
Thank you for having me,
Don't even call it a podcast, dog. This is art. You heard?